Hi, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom. It's a bit later than I'd usually do, but I had to take a little time out after what I've kind of been sent today, just to get myself back in the Zen zone, because boy, it's a lot. So I'm gonna start with what I'm going to cover is probably going to offend some people. Yeah, it's probably going to offend some people. I'm not meaning to, just the topics. It's going to trigger some people for sure. So, but it needs to be talked about. And so I just want to give you that advance warning that that's going to be coming. And the other things I want to say as well is that obviously everyone's mental health is an absolute priority right now. Because it's been a very difficult time for everybody. And getting control of your mind, and I'll go, I'll explain, obviously I'm going to put in all the links as I always do. But it has been a very difficult year for everyone everywhere for different reasons, to different extremes. But if you can win the battle with yourself first, things look a lot better, feel a lot better. And it's okay not to be okay. Lots of people are in exactly the same situation in terms of how they're feeling, and there's nothing to be ashamed of if you're not feeling all right. But know that you're not alone, and there's lots of people who can help, who want to help. And no matter how difficult the situation may seem, the circumstances may seem, there is always a way out. So whether that's if you're suffering in terms of depression, there's so much help and support online, and books to read or audiobooks to listen to. And I know, having myself had depression on and off about, well, it probably started after I was 9 when I had the incident. So until beginning of last year. So what's that? 29 years on and off. But you can get out of it. What I realised, actually, because, you know, one thing sort of leads to another thing, and if you have any kind of abuse when you're younger, I've got research and stuff on this. If you go through any abuse when you're younger, whether that's physical, emotional, or sexual, that's what I'm saying. This is going to trigger some people, and I apologise. It's not meant. It's meant to help. If you go through that kind of abuse when you're younger, it kind of obviously just triggers loads of other things in your life. And then I obviously had, and from that, then I had, obviously if you've watched my channel before, you know this, but I'm going over it again just quickly, because it just seems like it's, from what I've been being sent today, and the numbers of people that are suffering from these kind of things. So it's important to know that you can get out of it. So obviously I had that when I was 9, and then I ate my emotions, and my parents at the time weren't really around. My brothers weren't either, and I was just always with a babysitter. So then I got fat, then I got an eating disorder. Then I started doing drugs when I was like 13, hanging around the wrong crowd. And then it was just really a string of failures from that point. Some highs, well, you know, lots of highs. No, I shouldn't joke. No, listen. Yeah, and then because I hated myself really deep down, although I put on a brave face and was, you know, everyone thought I was the happy one. Everyone thought I was the social butterfly. I was just always trying to please everyone else. Never. What I realised, actually, is that's all I was doing. I was just trying to please everyone else. Just desperate to try and I guess get validation or love from somebody. But deep down I didn't love myself. And so, because I just buried my head in the sand in terms of not dealing with any of those things and all of the things that happened over that time, and then the 2 narcissistic relationships and all of the abuse that went with that. Yeah, I just kind of boxed up those problems, put them to the back of my mind, like, yeah, I've dealt with that, and I hadn't dealt with it at all, and was just looking for answers in all the wrong. I was asking the wrong questions for the first thing, and then I was also looking for the answers or an escape in all of the wrong things. And it was only at the start of 2020 when I just like, how have I got here? How did I get here? Like, how did I get to 38? So I've not achieved anything. You know, I've got that 3 kids, obviously, but it's like I was just existing. I wasn't living. It was just one day to the next, and every day was the same. And ultimately, I still hadn't dealt with any of the issues. So no, I wouldn't recommend this. I just took myself off my antidepressants at the time, so it's a year and whatever, 5 months ago now. First, the first thing, I wouldn't recommend doing that. You go see a doctor if you're on antidepressants, but antidepressants are not the answer, because they don't cure you in any way, shape or form. All they're doing is numbing you, and you still got the same problems. So I went through however many weeks of pain that was. And then I just thought, well, how do I get back? Because the question I then asked myself was, well, hold on a sec. Why am I? Why? Because, you know, up until that, I was like, why? What have I done? Why is this happening to me? I thought, nothing's happening to you, you loser. Like, you know, like nothing. It was me to me. It was all me. You know what I mean? I was like, asking, you know, but I'd sit and wallow for hours and just be like, what, you know, what did I do? And then I just thought, actually, no, nobody's done anything to me. I did this to me. I did this. It was all my choices. You know what I mean? So those relationships, I you know, I chose them. And then when I was in them, I stayed in them. That's not in any way to justify what they did, because they aren't. It's just, you can't blame anyone. I'm not a victim. I just made a lot of very bad choices over and over again, and I just realised that you know, I just kind of got stuck in that cycle, and I didn't like myself very much, so I was accepting that behaviour, even though deep down I knew that he was lying, I knew that he was cheating. I just desperately wanted him to love me, because I loved him so much. And then I had to just ask myself, well, why would I even want someone like that to love me? Is that all you know, was that the best that I thought you know? And obviously at the time that it was, where he used to remind me of it all the time. He used to tell me that, you know, I'd won the jackpot with him, and then no one would ever love me ever again. That was the other one. No one would ever want me. You know, alternate with, I'm going to kill you. So But I thought, okay, so now I'm here. How do I make better choices then? What do I need to do to be happy? Just on my own, by myself, to just be happy as I am. So I just went about searching that. And the thing is, when you start searching for positive things, because up until that point I hadn't made, even though I constantly be like, but why is it still like this? And it'd be like, because I haven't actually made any steps to change anything. I was just doing the exact same things and expecting it to change, or expecting me to change, or expect whatever. And then I just started searching. I was like, right, I don't want to be like that anymore. So who do I want to be? What does that person look like? The person that I want to be. You know? And then I just started searching all those things. So, you know, good old Google. Google is Pandora's box, and I'll go into that in a minute, but it has its good sides and its dark sides. So I started searching, like, right, how to be happy. That sounds really stupid, but how to be happy. And then you've got all these things come up. You've got people, you've got books. So I just started doing that. It's not, it's one step at a time. Trust me, it's not. It'd be amazing. Just go, whoo. There are people that can do rapid transformation, but I only learned about that after I'd gone through this really long process. So I was like, right, okay. So then I'm like ordering these books, listening to audio books, just basically just sort of refocusing all of my time and attention onto that, rather than all the nonsense and all. It's just cut out all the bad habits, the bad people, the bad energy, just all of it, and then focused all of my attention on how to be better, how to get better, how to work through those issues and let them go. Because what this whole every day, even now, it's just realizing that every single person is going through something, or has gone through something that is similar, but we just didn't talk about it before. And it's actually really comforting, because a lot of it, when you're wallowing, you're thinking like, it's only me, no one understands, and you kind of almost you mentally isolate yourself when you're in it. And there's no need to, because absolutely everyone everywhere is going through the same thing at the same time right now. And that's just on this. But actually what I found as well is that everyone's also gone through a lot of the other things, the weight worries, the body dysmorphia, the eating badly, or drinking too much, or being addicted to whatever it is, whether it's sugar, caffeine, nicotine, recreational drugs, prescription drugs. Everybody everywhere is in the exact same boat, literally. So nobody can be judging nobody. Nobody should be judging anyway. But that in itself is comforting. And then it's just finding those people. It's finding your tribe. It's finding the people. And there are groups on Facebook. There are groups that you can go to. There are Zoom calls you can join. There are webinars you can join. There are so many. But it's just taking that first step. It's acknowledging that there is a problem in whatever area it applies to. And then it's that taking that first step to seeking help, whether that's I didn't have any, all the people that I need to be careful what I say here now. No, but I basically just separated myself from all the people. Just because I needed to, everyone else wanted to carry on drinking and doing stuff, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that no more. Because I just knew that it was detrimental to my own mental health, and I wanted to get better. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to focus my time, every minute of my time, on learning how to be better, learning how to get over all the things that I've experienced in my life, and learn how to help others get through theirs. And I just wanted to focus all my time on it. And just learning loads of other random stuff that I've learned along the way. So yeah. The point is this. You can. There's no such word as can't. You can get better. You can. It doesn't, whatever it is, don't let your past hold you hostage from your future. Yeah, you're not the sum total of your mistakes. You're what you are right now and who you choose to be. And then every day, just takes baby steps towards that. And every step closer you get, the better you feel. And we'll still always make mistakes because we're humans. But it's how you deal with it. Just get back up, keep going, get back up, keep going. Whereas I used to fall over flat on my face and just lie there and go, ah, and moan. Well, I don't do that anymore. So I'm going to put some links in. Obviously, there's that thing coming on Monday, which is Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins and Russell Brunson and loads of other speakers that have all been through really difficult times, really difficult situations. Some of them have been recovered from addictions or come from being homeless, and become successes. So that starts on Monday, and that's 5 days, and that's free. So that's a good one to join because that's coming up. But it is completely just about understanding ourselves and the way that the mind works. And you can call it whatever you want. Some people call it imposter syndrome. Some people call it, there's a book, I've mentioned it before, The Mind Chimp. So some people call it a chimp. You can call it your demon. Whatever it is not you. That thing that makes you, tells you your shit, makes you feel embarrassed or ashamed, that it loves a catastrophe. You know what I mean? That's where it's, it's there waiting at the sidelines, just like, yeah, brilliant. This is where I'm going to go to town now and make you do all the things that you don't want to do really, but I'm going to make you do them anyway. You know what I'm saying? So those little demons there, and they come in all shapes and sizes. Like I've got I've got my the one that always, my food one. I've got a food demon. That's probably the last one that I've got to get rid of. Because I still I've managed to deal with all of the other ones, but that one there, that's been there for a long time. That's been there since I was 13. So, and that's just it's a daily battle. Just in terms of how, it is body dysmorphia. Just don't matter what. When I look at myself in the mirror, I always see that fat 13-year-old. Even though I know I'm not, that's kind of, and as I said, that's a daily thing, but I still win. Because I went, like today, I went for a walk for 3 hours, came back, it's like, yeah, I feel great, look great, fine, food, like that. But it comes out if I go near anything, like I haven't eaten a takeaway for ages because I used to, that used to really just trigger me. So I've stopped eating takeaway food. But you just do whatever you've got to do to get through it. But the main thing is understanding the mind and how it works, and how that voice there that is either getting you into trouble or keeping you in trouble or telling you that you like doing the things that you don't like, it's not you. It is absolutely not you. And every time you beat that demon, or however you want to, that's just how I the terminology I use for myself, because the way I envisage myself when I'm beating my demon is like that I'm like a warrior, or Muhammad Ali, but like a girl version, and I literally have a physical fight in my mind with that, and I always win. So that's just how I do it. And also just keeping yourself focused and distracted, getting a hobby, just do things that you enjoy doing. This is the thing. Focus on what actually makes you happy. And guess what? You get happy. And it's just, that's us. But it's true. It is true. And I had this thing yesterday. Let me see if I can find it here now. And it was about, hold on. Maybe I won't get it. Oh no. let me just search it, sorry. It was on my favourite quiz programme, Pointless, and it was there we go. Existential crisis was what it was. An existential crisis. And this is very well mined. And it was in reference to what's going on. So an existential crisis refers to feelings of unease, meaning, choice, and freedom in life. Whether referred to as an existential crisis or an existential anxiety, the main concerns are the same. That life is pointless, that our existence has no meaning because there are limits or boundaries on it, and that we all must die someday. Existential anxiety tends to arise during transitions and reflects difficulty adapting, often related to loss of safety and security, questioning the meaning of their existence. So obviously a lot of people, this essentially kind of is what's happening in terms of COVID-19, because it's just constantly surrounded by death all the time. In terms of, it's absolutely horrendous, and thoughts go out to all the families that have lost people. You know, the way that the media is 24/7, and some people are getting really, really scared. You know, and I was thinking, I'm not afraid of dying, but I am afraid of not living. You know? Because death is inevitable. So you may as well enjoy the time that you've got here and do, you know, and find something that gives you meaning, and find something that gives you passion, and find something, you know, sitting at home, as I say, sat at home. But I found what gives me passion and purpose, which is my business, setting up all my businesses, and, you know, doing this and trying to help as many people as I can. That's what gives me passion and purpose and meaning. So I'm actually quite grateful for this time. And I've lost 2 people during this time. And I used the time. You know, being focused on trying to, you know, get out of it. So I just wanted to send lots of love to anyone that's struggling with any kind of mental health or depression or anxiety or stress. The best thing you can do is, firstly, know you're not alone. Secondly, tell someone. Thirdly, get onto Google and just Google it. Like, ways to, in fact, you don't even need to, because actually all of these things I've already looked up for you, and there's already links in all of my previous episodes. So, but I will put some more in again today. In terms of, there's food you can eat that boosts your mood. There's groups you can join. Exercise is really good. Music is really good for you. dancing is really good for you. Creating, just in generally, in whatever format that is, whether it's art or crafts or building stuff with your hands, just creating, keeping the mind busy. Now, before I go on, I'm going to have to say that the tone is going to turn slightly here. And I have to say this because I've seen some alarming shit. I have. So there's a couple of things. And there was I heard a clip. I'm going to start with this. This is going to set the tone. I heard a clip of Johnny Rotten, previously banned clip of Johnny Rotten from 1978, I think it was. So BBC banned clip saying he had a death list, right? So people he wanted dead. Obviously, it was said in jest, much like mine are, obviously. And who was on his death list? Jimmy Savile. Jimmy Savile. So it goes on to say why he's on the death list. And they were like, oh, you can't say that. And so there's several things about this. One is Johnny Rotten was right to have Jimmy Savile on the death list. Two, this is in 1978. Why did no one listen to Jimmy Savile? Because a whole lot of lives would have been saved, and trauma and abuse would have not gone on had he been listened to. Thirdly, why did the BBC ban that clip at the time? Why did they try and hide that knowledge from the people? And if you don't know who Jimmy Savile is, Jimmy Savile was a prolific paedophile. So I have been sent some truly horrific things today, and it's been triggering me all day. I'm going to be honest. So it will trigger other people, and there's literally, I think anyone anywhere can agree. I don't know anyone that doesn't agree with this, what I'm about to say, which is that people that abuse children in this way they should go on the death list. It's so harsh. Oh, I'm sorry. Not sorry. Like, there is a massive problem with paedophiles, is what is coming to my attention. Like a massive problem. A lot bigger than I thought it was. And it goes in line with the child trafficking and the human trafficking. And there's millions of children. I mean, it is staggering, actually, that this isn't more of a thing. That in terms of this, there's not more being done. And then you've got to ask, why isn't it being done? Why has it been let to get this big? Why isn't there more people involved? Why isn't more being done by governments and people in positions of power? Why isn't more money being government money from all countries? Because as I'm going to show you, it is everywhere. And then even worse than that is there's a place in Germany, and I almost don't want to say it. They're trying to say it's they're trying to say it's a sexual orientation, and that the scientist there, or psychiatrist, whatever he is, frankly I think he needs to be checked, is saying that paedophiles should be allowed to have just as many rights as anyone else, and that they've had 10,000 people go through this. This is hit 10,000 people. Most paedophiles are men, although there are some women, obviously, but most are men. Up to 1% of the population. Isn't that a funny statistic? Let's get the pad out. 1%. Where have we seen that before? 1%. 1%. It's the usual triangle of doom with the 1% at the top there, look. Right? So he's saying that what they teach there is that they have chemical castration, but that doesn't change how they think or what they could do with their hands or video. And he has no, so people go there, they pay to go there to have his chemical castration, essentially is what it is, and then he lets them go and nobody monitors them, and there's no way of checking whether they've done anything after that. Sorry, that shit ain't gonna wash with me. I think all paedophiles should be chemically castrated, yes. But I do not think that they should be anywhere near any children ever again. From the second that they're discovered in whatever way, like court, no fucking way. You out of your mind. When what's these things today? There's one that there's allowed to hear. I'm gonna just put the links in. I don't. People will or won't watch it, and it is a hard topic to discuss, even because it is fucking awful. Child abuse is awful. It breaks people, and trauma as a child causes addictions in later life. There's scientific evidence for that as well. We need to break this cycle. We need to catch all these paedophiles, man. We need to catch them all these sex traffickers. Not even people in the mafia. They won't even fucking, they don't mess with. No one that's criminals don't touch children, generally speaking. So it's only paedophiles and the people that do the sex trafficking. Those fuckers there, yeah. Stop worrying about world wars. Yeah, put your nukes down. Let's catch these fuckers. Let's actually do something that's important, that means something, that can save lives rather than destroy lives. It is. You know why it is that they ain't doing it. Because of who it is, who's involved in it at the top. That isn't just me plucking that out of the fucking air. You've got Prince Andrew, you've got Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. Who are they friends with? The Clintons. They got that guy Nygaard. Yeah. It runs deep, fam, and it goes back a long way. And it goes everywhere. And so there's places, there's specific places that are really, because you know what they do? They're taking advantage of vulnerable children in vulnerable places where there isn't, they're poor and need money, so that paedophiles go there and then they take advantage of these vulnerable children that need, you know, and what's even worse is that their families, their mums are selling them. And it's to white men. That is harrowing. So there was one here. This guy, he was traveling in, I think it's Cambodia. And he saw a young girl. He was like in an outside gym. And he saw this young girl doing something with an old man. And he went to get his phone, but when he turned around, the other man had gone. But this other old man came, white old man. So he managed to position his camera and record this incident. And obviously reported it and chased this guy off from this 13-year-old girl. And they're doing it either because they need the money for food, for their family, for their orphans, or they're being pushed into it by their own family. Their family selling them. And then these places have become sort of hot spots. And it's in our own countries as well. It's not just limited to these other countries, but Senegal, Bangladesh, Cambodia, Kenya. Those are some of the ones that came up. And then it went from that to there's, and this is on Google, Google Store. and the App Store, Apple, they've got apps for sale on their platforms that are human trafficking apps that sell humans. And they should have some kind of responsibility for even having that shit on there, for making it accessible just through Google, and this is to do with Q8. So in Q8, almost everybody has what's called a domestic worker, like a housekeeper, but almost every single person has one. And in Q8, the way that it works is people register with agencies. The agency gets them the right documents from the government, and then the agency advertises domestic workers, and people then sponsor a domestic worker, right? So then they're in the people's houses, and then what these people then do is they then sell them as a commodity. So they've got the documents and the sponsorship, and what they'll do is they don't treat them as humans. They treat them as a commodity, because they take away their passports. They don't give them days off. They're not allowed to leave the house. There's this. All of these are breaking international law and Q8 laws. They're also not supposed to be under the age of 21. But what they once they've got the sponsorship of these domestic workers, they then sell them on. They sell their sponsorship and that person on at a profit, and just get another one. And they keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And so there's like this underground human trafficking going on in Kuwait. It's not just Kuwait, Saudi Arabia do it as well. And they get abused, whether emotionally, physically, sexually. They get treated like literally not even human. And they had this is on a documentary, and they had cameras, and they went into these people's houses, and they went into one, and the girl, obviously you're supposed to be 21 to be registered as a domestic worker, to even get the license or the visa or whatever it is through the agency. And this girl was 16, and she was from because loads of other countries send their kids there, and she was 16, and so obviously but the woman admitted she didn't know she was on camera. She admitted that they illegally changed all the ages and whatever. But these are on apps, and it says for sale. One of the apps is called For Sale, and it's a Q8 app, but it's available on the Google Store and the Apple Store. And they have pictures with the price of the cost of the person, and for sale written on it, all over the person's picture. That's like, can you believe this? I can barely believe it. I knew it was going. I knew that there was. I thought what I found out about the Chinese, Oh, right. Hold on. Before I get rushed onto something else, just let me remind myself here now. Yeah. Where was I going? This is a problem. I was thinking, how can we stop it? Well, first of all, Google and Apple should have much more regulation on the apps that they have for sale. Like, do they not regulate a fucking thing? They're probably using the people, that's probably why. Like, they're using slave labor in China, of course they're using the people. And I was listening to Biden earlier on, we need to, start worrying, what's the word he used about China? It's like, mate, you're too late for that. You know why? Because the West's greed, the West's greed, the 1% greed, the 1% capitalist, the 1% elite, the 1% paedophile, the 1% fuckery. Yeah, they've been so greedy for so long, and they've outsourced jobs that could be in the West. Yeah, could be in the West, making the West, getting everyone out of poverty and depression and off drugs. They could all be here doing that, but no, they didn't, because they're greedy and they don't care about anyone but themselves. They don't care about the 99% here. They only care about themselves. They only care about making money. So what they did was, rather than keep the jobs within the countries, they outsourced it to slave labor in China. So not only are they promoting and using people, you're also sending all that money and that power over to China, and you wonder why they're far ahead. You wonder why. You create the IP for the technology in America, and then you send the manufacturing of that to China, because you don't want to pay living wage for Americans in America to make an American product. And then you're wondering why China's got so much power. Well, you gave it to them, didn't you? As did anyone in the UK that sent their manufacturing over there. So it's two-pronged. You've given them the business, you've given it to them, you've given them the money, they're manufacturing everything, they've got all the fucking chips for everything that everyone needs. They recovered first from COVID, they've got all the money there, they're cash rich, and now they're investing in everything, and everyone's going, it's because everyone's so fucking greedy. Everyone is, sorry, not everyone, the 1% are so fucking greedy. I didn't see this coming, did they? Well, no, actually, they probably did, and they don't care, do they? They don't care about the 99%. They don't care about the rest of us. As long as they sell their product, make their money, make the most money they can, pay the least amount for the cost of making it, aka slave labor. And then you got Biden there going, China will be taking over, making all the EVs. Well, of course they will. Even Tesla's gone and put a manufacturing plant over there. Everyone's still using too much oil. Oil prices are soaring. So it stops people using oil and just, oh my gosh. Oh, I just remembered. there's a little electric thing. I was watching this repair shot. I know this is a kind of, but it's just the way my brain works. I was watching this repair thing earlier on. Now, this is cheaper than EVs. Cheaper than EVs, right? Better than a bike. And it was made in the 80s, but you can make a reversion of it, any car maker. Yeah, this is the one. It's called a C5. I'm going to put a link into it. It's an 80s futuristic looking little battery powered thing. It can go up to 35 miles an hour though. It's only one seater. But if you were in in a city, like in London or whatever, it's faster than a bike. In fact, and because it's like cheaper than a car as well, because it's EV or a motorbike. Wait till you see these banging. They knew back in the 80s, didn't they? Back to the Future. I've got so much more, but I've gone on for an hour already. It's 20 to 3. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'll bore you some more tomorrow. But this paedophile thing is a massive problem. Child abuse in general, human trafficking, sex trafficking, it's just, that should be a priority for the people in charge. And the fact that they aren't doing or not putting enough money into it is deeply concerning. So all I can say is, if you're in one of these places, I'm going to put a list in, I'm going to put links into these videos. If anyone is in those places, a photo, you video that paedophile, send it. There's people you can send it to. Fucking name and shame those fuckers, man. They gotta go. All of them. And then we've just got to help people, just, sorry. It just really makes me angry. Abuse of children. Can't cope. So, yeah. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But I just want to... Oh, I was going to say... Oh, yeah, there's a Zulu Queen died today. Zulu Queen. So, rest in peace. They're going to be picking the new royal family for the Zulus. And the Circle of Life, in the same day, African lady gave birth to 9 babies naturally. Oh, well, like, you know what I mean? All at the same time. I had to have a C-section. But that's actually a world record. 9, can you imagine that? 9 at one time. Wow. So, sending her some love as well. And I've got my Fire and Earth Triple Goddess little herb stick. And I'm just going to burn a bit of that and wave that around for good vibes. Feminine, healing and love. I think we all need a bit. So, on a more lighter note, it's a bit heavy, wasn't it? The feeling generally is we can do it. Yes, we can. Whatever it is, can absolutely do it. There are no limits to what we can achieve. All of us have the potential within us. Sending love and joy and virtual hugs. Hold on, stay strong, never give up. only through the understanding of all of the things, all of the problems, can we have all of the solutions. So although these things are difficult to talk about, it is important to talk about. It is. It's hard, but it is important because they're going on everywhere, and them not having been talked about has actually escalated the problem over time, which is why there are these issues now. So, if you need to talk to somebody, whatever it is about, don't forget. Google it, find a group on Facebook, find a group on a social media, find a group somewhere, anywhere. There are lots of people who want to help. So I love you, and I will see you tomorrow.